A lot of lawyers don't know about these red notices and
Yeah.
how nasty they could be. The lawyers involved with that invited him to come on the show, but they couldn't make it, so they might be doing an article on these red notices. But essentially, Interpol, the countries could tell Interpol that this person did a crime, and there's a notice out so that local police departments around the world could potentially get them or detain them. But they're not really supposed to be. And in the Code of Federal Regulation, I think is like these aren't official things that you could be bound by, but because governments, especially tyrannical governments around the world, misuse and abuse those.
Yeah.
But ICE uses them still to come and pick you up and detain you, and you have to fight it out sometimes in immigration court. It get really nasty with these red notices, and it's hard to know if someone's on the red notice. If you have clients overseas who have any legal issues, you really want to ask them to kind of double check or look into that, because it could come up at adjustment of status where there's a red notice, and you'll have ICE officers waiting behind the door to pick you up.
Oh, the red notices get so nasty, and you have to be prepared. And there are entities, big law firms usually, that can try to get a red notice canceled, but it's a whole process. It costs a lot of money, and there are countries like Venezuela, Russia, that just are known to abuse the red notice process. The BIA issued a decision last year pretty much saying that a red notice is reliable, although they didn't go as far as saying that it could be the only evidence. But they also dropped a footnote saying that unless you can show that the country abuses it. So that's that whole argument, and that's going to be, you're not going to win that out. You're not going to win the day before USCIS with that. But maybe you'll get it in immigration court. You can get them out on bond. But yeah, they get really nasty, and it's kind of a way for sometimes countries to try to get these individuals back to their country when they know they can't meet the extradition provisions. They don't want to go through that. That's the real process, is extradition. You want your national back, your citizen back, try to extradite. But this is like the second lower way they use it. Mm-hmm. And then, serious non-political crime, which is what the Barahona case is, that doesn't require a conviction. So, and the non-citizen kind of has the burden. The non-citizen always has the burden to show that they are admissible. But in Barahona, the court is saying that DHS has an initial burden to show that one or more of the bars apply. And based on this decision, it's looking like that a red notice standing alone is not going to cut it. Maybe a red notice plus the foreign conviction document, the foreign charge. I don't know. But just a red notice, according to the Eighth Circuit, not going to cut it. And so that's a good decision to know.
Yeah, this came up last year in a case, and I didn't want to file for adjustment. They went with another attorney because I wouldn't file it because they had some sort of argument business-wise at home country, and they couldn't show up to court because they're in the United States, and they got essentially an in absentia order for what the other side was accusing of, like check fraud or something like that, and they weren't there to defend themselves. They weren't even aware of it till afterward. And I said, get a lawyer in the home country to close that case up, then we'll contact Interpol. I don't want to put you in front of, USCIS with this out there. They might come pick you up, and who knows when they'll get you out. It's not you don't want to be in ICE detention, so like worst place to be. But another lawyer said, no, we can file it. It's fine. I'm not sure what happened with it, but that's something to be careful of, because it comes, even private parties could try to mess with you, and local courts and stuff will really make a life havoc for an applicant.